In this episode, I go over my top 5 picks for new comic book day coming out next week, July 27th, 2022. What is going on, everybody? Justin here, aka No Good Comics, and welcome back to the channel. In this episode, I'm going over my top 5 picks for new comic book day coming out next week, July 27th, 2022. So if you're here for that, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And as always, huge shout out to the Premiere chat right now. If you're watching this on the Premiere, 12:30 Eastern on a Thursday, then I appreciate you hanging out with me. Otherwise, thanks so much for taking the time to tune in here either way. But hey, look, there's another great week for comics. I was just going through the list. I try to make it my 5 every week, but it is so hard because there's so many great titles that are coming out, both continuous titles, new introduced titles, new creators and writers always coming out with new stuff. So really excited for just comics in general. And of course, would love to know what you're reading right now or what you're interested in. Leave a comment in the comment section below. But before I get into my top 5 picks and my cover buy of the week, as usual, I have 2 honorable mentions, and these are the 2 that I'm talking about right here. I have to just give a quick mention here to the Swamp Thing issue number 15 that's coming out, usually on the top 5, but because of some of the new stuff that's coming out, I had to bump it off just a tiny bit, but it's definitely still up there as one of my favorite reads right now. So definitely checking out Swamp Thing issue number 15. Did I say 55? 15. Wow. Anyways, and then the other one I wanted to just quickly mention here is Robin issue number 16, which again, another series that has just been one of my favorites right now and is usually always on my top 5. But like I said, there are a couple of new series that are kind of kicking off here. I wanted to make sure to include them, and so that's why I kind of bumped these back to the honorable mentions list. But either way, definitely excited for them, and you should be too if you're reading along, if you've been catching on. I've been talking about those 2 series a lot, so hopefully you're caught up. If not, take some time to do so because it is definitely worth the trip. But anyways, let's get into the top 5 picks here. We're going to start off at number 5, and I'm going to go with this little gem right here, Gambit issue number 1. And I have to admit, I do not know much about the mutant so-called as Gambit. Obviously seen him in the movies, obviously, some of the current stuff. Another thing about it, I don't even know if he's really tied into too much. Oh, well, yeah, I guess he's just got the whole Rogue line going on right now. But for me, like, I just haven't got up to the Claremont stuff yet that really has introduced him. He comes much later in the 300s, for Chris Claremont's run. So that's a big part of it. Even though I am this big mutant fan, I just haven't had the time to read up to his storylines yet. So I am not as familiar with the Raging Cajun as they refer to as Gambit. So, but I do have high hopes for this. I do want to check this out. One of the things I wanted to stand out here right away is just the fact that Chris Claremont's back. He's writing this. He's co-writing, I think. Let me see who the creators are here. We have Chris Claremont on the writing. And then, it's just Chris Claremont. And then we have Sid Koshian, who I'm not familiar with, but they are doing the artwork, the interior artwork. So really interested. And I think, just reading ahead a little bit here to get an understanding, this story is supposed to be more about him before he joins the X-Men, kind of some of the things that he has done, prior to everything that you may know him for. So this is Chris Claremont's opportunity to kind of fill in some of those gaps prior to, again, where he was introduced initially for joining the X-Men and things like that. So either way, like I said, don't know too much, but I am excited. Definitely want to look forward to it. And I will give issue 1 a shot. This is not tying into any of like the Hickman, current stuff that's out there. It's just kind of a standalone on its own, kind of refilling in, like I said, some of the gaps that Claremont has, written throughout, his career of X-Men. So really great to see his name back there as just a creator, and I'm really excited just to give it a shot, just for that alone. Yeah, looking forward to this one. That's gonna be my number 5 pick of the week, Gambit issue number 1. The next one here I gotta go with is the Sandman Universe Nightmare Country issue number 4. This is another one that's just been so dark and creepy, and I am all about it. It's all about Corinthian. If you guys have been following along with the Sandman universe, and you know about Corinthian, kind of the creepy eyes as teeth, really, really freaky stuff. But it has been a treat. I really have been enjoying this. I think one of the things that stood out to me as this series kicked off is that James Tynion has been writing it. So, again, I've talked about Tynan 100 times on this channel. Anything that he's doing, I am definitely down to check out. And I have been enjoying this ride so far. Definitely giving me those dark, scary vibes that I like about Sandman. So, want to continue on with that. And this is a perfect opportunity to do so in the Sandman universe, right? Because I'm still catching up with some of that stuff too. The original stuff that Neil Gaiman has written. So that's been a treat, but it's definitely been something I've been going, on and off, jumping in and out of along the way, but definitely keeping up on this series, and that is why it's my number 4 pick of the week, the Sandman Universe Nightmare Country, issue number 4. Let's see, going into my number 3 pick, and I was like debating, did I want to put this number 1? Like, I am very, very excited for it, but there are just 2 others that are just right up there with it. So making this my number 3 pick of the week, it's Detective Comics issue number 1062. The reason this is so significant for those who don't know, because I haven't really been catching up on the Detective Comics stuff, but this is changing writers here. We get Ram V here. And actually I see that Simon Spurrier is also listed on the writing, so I don't know if they're just teaming up, co-writing together throughout these next couple of issues, or if it's I thought it was just Ram V initially, but I can see the Spurrier is listed here. So either way, I'm down for that. It's cool to have to see them team up like that. Raphael Albuquerque, he's doing the artwork, which I definitely trust him. There's also Danny. I don't know who Danny is. It's just her name's just Danny. There's no last name. It's like Cher. I don't know how that works, but that's really cool. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, just again, I've been on this, DC kick, Batman kick, Superman, all this stuff. So I think this is a great opportunity for me to kind of jump back into the Detective Comics side, or not jump back into, but jump into for the first time, Detective Comics, because it's really been quite some time since I've really tried to sit down and read Detective Comics. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I can see already it's called Gotham Nocturne Part 1 of 4. So we're definitely getting kind of this 4-issue miniseries. I don't know if Ram B is staying on this long term or not, but hopefully, fingers crossed, he is. See, dog is excited. He wants some more on V too. So there you go. All right, so coming in at my number 2 pick of the week, I'm going with Strange, issue number 4, not to be confused with Doctor Strange, Dr. Stephen Strange, right? Because we know right now, currently, Strange is dead. He is not with us right now. However, we do have Clea, who is the current Strange, as she has taken over as the Sorcerer Supreme and is also Stephen Strange's wife. So, yeah, really, really enjoying this. And I think a big reason is because of the fact that the writer on this, Jed MacKay, has been doing such a great job. I know he's been crushing it with the Magic the Gathering stuff over at Boom Studios. I've heard really good things as well for Moon Knight that he's been writing. And so, yeah, big fan of Jed MacKay. Really enjoying where he's taking this particular series. And, of course, the artwork, he is joined by Marcelo Ferreira, who has been doing a phenomenal job as well. The two of them really working well together. So, yeah, overall, I can't say enough about this series. Just really enjoying it. Like I said, Doctor Strange is dead. Clea is trying to figure out see, my dog's excited too, like just very excited to see kind of where this goes. Clea is trying to figure out a way to bring Doctor Strange back. And it's really interesting too, because it's kind of tying into the Judgment Day stuff, the AX Judgment Day stuff. So we saw Clea at the gala. She showed up at the gala. It wasn't really a pleasant conversation, but really, really good. Just how it's all tying up right now. And, I've mentioned Eternals before, caught up on all that stuff. The X-Men I'm caught up on as well. And so it was really nice to see a little glimpse of Clea as, the world is kind of found out now that, the X-Men can essentially have their team reborn again. And so she's knocking on the door saying like, hey, can you bring back, Stephen Strange for me? And, well, anyways, the gala kind of explains more details. I'll let you read that if you haven't already. That just came out this past week. But anyways, back to this one. Yeah, again, just really enjoying it. This is a series I've been breaking down with Paul, aka back-to-back issues. We broke down the first 2 issues. We got issue 3 we still got to talk about, and then obviously this one coming out now. Maybe we'll do like a 2-in-1 for when that comes out next week. But yeah, I can't recommend this enough. If you have not been reading it, it's not too late. It's only 4 issues out. Definitely recommend checking it out. Pick it up if you get a chance. But it's really well done. I should also note here that the cover artist Lee Garbett doing the cover here, really stunning cover. And Lee Garbett, he was doing the Death of Doctor Strange artwork, so it's nice to see him staying close to this project overall with the whole Doctor Strange and Clea thing. So, but yeah, so that's gonna be my number 2 pick of the week, Strange issue number 4. And before we get into my final pick here, I want to just make sure, remind everybody, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And again, thanks everybody in the premiere chat right now. Always appreciate you hanging out with me. If you missed it, I just posted last weekend. I went to Hershey Comic-Con. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. I took some videos, some photos. Go check that out. I do a whole breakdown of how that Comic-Con was. And then not this weekend, but the following weekend, I have Terrificon coming up, which I'm also very excited for. That's over in Connecticut. If you're going to be there at the Mohegan Sun, let me know. I'll be there all weekend. Definitely reach out to me over on Instagram. Would love to catch up, and hopefully we'll run into each other. So, but that's like literally my favorite show of the year. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. And then of course, I mentioned this last time, but the weekend after that, yes, I'm going to C2E2 for the first time over in Chicago. Definitely will have to put out a video kind of prior to that, because I want to let people know, and also I want to kind of talk about what I'm looking forward to most for that show as well. So maybe I guess I should do that for Terrificon too. So just kind of a glimpse as to what I plan to do. So yeah, anyways, those are some shows that I have coming up here, but otherwise just moving and grooving with these top 5 picks. Really appreciate everybody who's been tuning into these. We're a little on taking a break from the Omni X-Men stuff right now, but we definitely will be back later in the fall, as well as my Comic Collector Origins show. We'll be back for that as well. But anyways, let's get into my number 1 pick of the week, and that is going to go to this book right here, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 10. I think it's pretty easily my number 1 pick. It's been, I think, anytime that it's come out now, at least over the past couple of issues, it's been my number 1 on the list because it has been that damn good. If you have not been reading this, I highly recommend checking it out. Rick Remender doing the writing for this, Andre Limo Arahu, who is doing the artwork and also the cover that we're looking at here. I like that the art has the covers, I should say, have all been so consistent with their theme. And Remender's known for this type of stuff. Not that Remender's drawing this, but I feel like anything that he works on, the artists are very much on the same page with the similar style of covers. So I just think of like Black Science, if you've read that, and then of course like you're seeing it here too, with kind of the same title up front with the white line, but you get some sort of imagery of one of the main characters, or in this case you get 2 of them here. You get Sonny and Xavier. But yeah, really wild ride. I really don't know how to explain this other than it's just like a wild thriller, like suspense thriller, action packed. Sonny is aware of this like underground assassination black market, I guess, and he's kind of stepped in to save certain people or stop certain things from happening, and he is currently being chased after some pretty dangerous people that are kind of part of this market, and in the meantime he's kind of gotten into this tie-in where he's now saved this kid Xavier, who's now become kind of his kind of like his son in a way. He's taking care of him. Last issue we got him kind of, making cereal for him and stuff like that. But there's still a ton of violence and just over the top stuff. That's all I'm going to leave it at for now. But I definitely recommend, if you haven't, read the first trade, definitely go back. That first trade is out right now. The first 6 issues. You can find that as a trade paperback. But man, it's been such a great series so far. That is why it's my number 1 pick of the week. And I think it's coming up to the end of the second arc, and I'm not sure if this is going to be like the end or if they have bigger plans to continue writing, because I think it was a while ago, I think I reached out to Andre, the artist, and he has said that they have plans for at least 12 issues and they're aiming for more, but depending on how things go, I think is kind of where it's up in the air. So I don't know if this is going to like come to a close after issue 12 or if we're going to get more, but I feel like the way how invested we are so far, and also knowing Rick Remender's writing, and again, just kind of relating it back to Black Science, I think that we are going to get a lot more to the story. I hope we're going to get a lot more to the story. So anyways, that is going to be my number 1 pick of the week, Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issue number 10. All right, so before we wrap things up, as always, I got to talk about my cover buy of the week. And if you didn't know what that is to me the book that if you're walking by the shelves and you see the cover and you just fall in love with the artwork immediately, and you tell yourself, I have to own this book, I have to have it in the PC. It doesn't matter if I'm reading the series or not, I have to have it. That is what a cover buy of the week is. And so for me, it's going to be this book right here, which I already talked about earlier. It is going to be Gambit issue number 1 by Chris Claremont. And of course, the cover is done by Alex Sinclair and Will Spartasio. video. This stood out to me. Like, I don't know if it's just the combination of the colors, obviously the artwork, it's really stunning stuff. And I talked about it earlier. I'm not as familiar with Gambit. I don't own many Gambit covers per se, but I love that, we have the younger Storm there on the cover as well. I love like the deck of cards that are flying out from underneath. And I think just overall, the brightness and the color choice of this particular cover in general is something that just really caught my eye, caught my attention. And it works out because, as I mentioned before, it's a book that's on my list. It's one that I'm going to be checking out. I'm going to be reading it. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Because like I said, there are those weeks where, I buy a book and it's like, oh, I just have to have it because of the cover. And I have no idea of what the series is, or I've never read it, things like that. So at least here, this is, on my list to read as well. Really excited for the series as a whole, as I've expressed earlier. And yeah, just checking out this cover, absolutely love it. So that is going to be my cover buy of the week. Gambit issue number 1, cover A, by Will Portasio and Alex Sinclair. And so yeah, there you go. Let me know in the comment section below, do you have a cover buy of the week? If so, let me know what it is. If you agree with this list that I've gone over, let me know what you're picking up, because again, remember, this is my top 5 picks for New Comic Book Day coming out next week, July 27th, 2022. So if you have something that you think I missed out on or I left off my list, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what you're reading. If you want to talk comics, reach over to me over on Instagram. I could be reached over there. But otherwise, I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're having a great week. And take a moment, smash that like button on the way out. And until next time, I will talk to you later.